Over the years, Nintendo's innovative games have allowed players to explore magical worlds, stomp on beastly tyrants, and of course, save princesses. But Nintendo's newest adventure on the Switch went in a different direction. Instead of fighting for justice or love, this game has players battling for glory in a spring-loaded, action-packed boxing lollapalooza. Now entering the arena, ARMS. Hi, I'm Adrian with the Leaderboard, and we've got 7 facts, 2 creatives, and some history on the competitive sports of video gaming. This is 7 facts about ARMS. Now let's step through the ropes and face the facts. Number 1. Entering the ring. Nintendo has always been known for its interesting takes on single-player and party games, so as the king of innovation in video gaming, it was only a matter of time before they stepped into the ring of competitive gaming. But did you know that the video game giant hasn't always been the biggest contender or even fan of the competitive scene? In order to understand why ARMS is such a big stepping stone in Nintendo's journey into competitive territory, let's take a brief detour into the past to revisit one of Nintendo's first successful, if accidental, truly competitive games, Super Smash Bros. Melee. That's right, Super Smash Bros. Melee was one of the first Nintendo games where players from all around the world gathered in tournaments and fought for the chance to earn some sweet rep and prize money. But despite its popularity as a competitive game, it received no support from Nintendo or even the creator of the Super Smash Bros. Franchise himself, Masahiro Sakurai. In an interview with a Japanese gaming magazine, Sakurai stated that by making Smash Bros. Competitor and spectator friendly, his team ran the risk of alienating new players and missing out on the overall potential of the game. Because of this, he decided not to push the competitive scene in Melee and future installments. Nintendo followed suit, and without their and Sakurai's help, the Smash Bros. Community was pretty much left to its own devices, but still managed to thrive in its raw and indie competitive culture. However, many fans have considered this to be a missed opportunity for Nintendo. Well, Nintendo has come a long way since then. With their current roster featuring several games with player versus player elements, such as Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, and ARMS, Nintendo now seems to be openly embracing the competitive aspects of their properties. So far, Nintendo has pleasantly surprised the fighting game community by promoting ARMS as a potentially eSports-worthy title. To do this, Nintendo has brought pros from other fighting games into the world of ARMS in order to showcase its mechanics. At the Sugo Ude tournament, MOV, a Street Fighter 3 legend, as well as Abadango, a professional Smash Bros. 4 player, duked it out in an exhibition match in front of a live stream. In the more recent E3 ARMS Open Invitational, Nintendo invited Street Fighter master Alex Valle, Soul Calibur champion Kayane, Smash commentator and analyst Tafokins, and Smash Bros. 4 pro Super Girl Kells to play against 4 other contenders who made it to the top. Talk about a star-studded lineup. The winner of the Open Invitational had the chance to throw it down with a secret boss player, the producer of ARMS, Yosuke Yabuki. Yabuki expressed his excitement in a Time interview at the possibility of ARMS becoming an esport, and the first competitive game to use motion controls. But he also stated that whether ARMS makes it into esports or not is not only up to Nintendo, but also the fans. Whether ARMS can be a proper esports or even garner a devoted following like Smash Bros. Has is something we'll just have to wait and see for ourselves. What's certain now is that ARMS is a solid punch in the right direction for Nintendo into the world of competitive gaming. Number 2. Motion controls perfected. Speaking of competition, if you want to be competitive in ARMS, try using motion controls. Now before you start flailing your Joy-Cons at us, remember that the Switch's motion controls are on a whole other level than its predecessors. In order to give players a new experience through motion controls, and to tempt them away from the traditional comfort of the Pro controllers, the ARMS team really worked hard to make sure the motion controls were more than viable. And just between you and me, I was playing on a controller against someone in motion controls the other night, and I got destroyed. They really worked on motion controls, and it worked out pretty well for them. If you don't believe us, hear it from the producer Yabuki himself. When comparing motion controls to traditional controls, he said that when it really comes down to it, when you really don't want to lose, we really feel that motion controls offer more precise control than traditional controls. So unlike any game before, we feel that the motion controls in ARMS really allow for deeper technique and strategy than really any game before it with motion controls. The reason for this is that the 2 gyros give the player more control, and therefore allow them to better curve their punches, provided they have practice. This means that for the first time in gaming history, motion controls may be more responsive than traditional ones. If you still aren't convinced, remember that ARMS was developed with competition in mind. Its creators really pushed it to be the first motion-controlled competitive game ever made, so there's a good chance that the motion controls have been play-tested to near perfection. If you want actual proof, go watch some ARMS videos or try the motion controls out yourself. Surprisingly, the gaming community is evenly split between motion controls and standard controls. This is unprecedented, with standard controls being a unanimous winner in previous consoles. It's still too early to confirm Yabuki's claim about the motion controls skill superiority, but so far we here at Frederator and the Leaderboard are loving it. 3. Deceptively simple by design. The world of ARMS is beautiful in its simplicity. Everything looks polished, and the game feels that way too. But while ARMS may look simple, a whole lot of thought went into achieving this design. According to Yabuki, there's a correlation between ARMS' smooth gameplay and the limited file size of the game. Everything about the game looks fantastic, but the game barely clocks in at 2.2 gigabytes. How did they fit all of that game into that small number? Well, just like Nintendo did with Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, and what they're doing again with Super Mario Odyssey, the art team has optimized and stylized everything in ARMS. Notice how clean the game looks. There aren't any unnecessary details, and it's almost like every polygon serves a purpose in the game's design. This lack of any burdensome detail is one of the main factors that allows ARMS to play smoothly with short load times and minimal lag, connectivity not accounted for. With less data to read, the game works faster. Art director Masaaki Ishikawa said that when discussing the detailed elements of the game, the team decided early on to focus their attention on the things that players would first notice. The players needed to be able to get a quick read of any given situation. In battle, they had to see their opponents clearly, so the stances and silhouettes of each character were made to be very distinct. The environments were tailored that way too. Nothing gets in the way of the player's experience, and it's thanks to this essentialist development plan that the game turned out looking as polished and playing as smoothly as it is. Number 4. More on-character designs. It was a difficult task for the artists of ARMS, some of whom had previously worked on Mario Kart 8, to come up with an all-new lineup of characters when they were so used to polishing the images of old favorites. They didn't know where to start. They only knew that the game was supposed to play as a third-person fighter with shooter elements. At one point, the team even considered having Mario and Link star in the game, but scrapped the idea early in development after realizing how silly it would be to see the two of them launching slinky arm missiles at each other. We here at the Leaderboard, however, think that sounds pretty rad and are willing to pay some good money for Mario and Zelda DLC. Wouldn't it be cool to bop your opponents with a telescopic white glove, or slice them up with a master whip sword? Anyway, once they decided on how the game would play, they had to figure out which direction they wanted to take the game's art style. Nintendo's overall style is a family-friendly one, so in order to maintain that image, artists decided to base ARMS characters off of the idea of celebrity athletes instead of fighters. In an interview with The Verge, Yabuki and Ishikawa explained that when it came time to choose which sports best represented the world they wanted to build, they chose to base the culture of ARMS more on football and basketball than on boxing, so that each character could have their own unique home stadium and legion of lookalike fans. The art team then began developing the characters with both function and form in mind. They thought about how they wanted the characters to play, and the characters' playstyles often influenced their designs. Say they wanted a tanky character with super armor. That playstyle may have translated into Master Mummy, who is one intimidating hulk of a character. Another element that the ARMS team pushed in their designs was diversity. ARMS takes place in a world-class sports setting, so the artists wanted to have a diverse cast in order to reflect that. Ishikawa explained that it was important for players from any background to have a character that they could latch onto. Seriously, there's one for everyone. Have you ever wanted to play as a wacky arm-flailing jelly tube man? Introducing Helix. Love ramen? So does Min Min. Her arms are made of the stuff. Do you identify as a snake person? Kid Cobra is here for you. Or maybe you base your mains off of functionality alone. Well, ARMS has the arms to cover that too. Each arm has its own function, and each character has their own unique playstyle. Now that is diversity. The ARMS team did an awesome job of creating an all-new roster of lovable and relatable characters, but it would still be cool to see Mario and Link in there. Just saying. Or maybe get Dhalsim. Oh my god, that would be an amazing cameo. Number 5. Contenders for the title of fan favorite. ARMS features a colorful cast of characters that just about anyone can latch onto, but a few of the characters are regarded by fans as more of a knockout than others. During all of the global test punches, Ninjara was picked more than any of the other characters by a landslide. When he was first revealed, fans were immediately taken by his modern ninja athlete look. He was also widely regarded as a mid to high tier pick, with his shinobi teleportation ability and his arsenal of fast arms allowing him to make aggressive plays. As cool and fun as he is, it's no wonder he's the most playable character so far. If a great design and high win rate are what it takes to be a fan favorite, it's no wonder that Min Min is there right behind Ninjara as the second most played character. Min Min's delicious ramen-influenced design has had fans hungering for a chance to play as her ever since her reveal. And just like all excellent ramen, Min Min packs an unexpected punch. She may look like a featherweight, but if you let her charge her left arm into dragon mode, you better be ready for walloping. The hidden power of her left arm along with her reliable weapons and ability to parry attacks makes Min Min a high tier pick, as well as a huge fan favorite. Man, just looking at her makes me crave a good bowl of ramen. God. Is it lunch yet? While Ninjara and Min Min may have been the most played characters during the test punches, neither of them could outshine the glamorous entrance of one of ARMS' new contenders, Twintel. After her May 17th reveal on Nintendo Direct, the internet pretty much blew up with posts about the star-turned-athlete of ARMS. Producer Yabuki said that Twintel's popularity was a pleasant surprise. To strengthen their diverse roster, the art team pushed to have a female character with, stronger build, which is something rare in Nintendo games. But it's now in the buns. I mean ARMS! Yabuki says that he's glad that the community has picked up on it. Even art director Ishikawa was taken aback by the amount of praise and fan art that came his way through social media. The best thing about Twintelle is that she exudes confidence. Instead of a standard walk cycle or hunched fighting stance, Twintelle casually struts around. She doesn't even bother getting her arms dirty. She whips her opponents with her hair instead. She can slow incoming attacks while charging and can also delay her drop midair. Her slow acts almost like a parry, but looks like a taunt. And it allows Twintelle to punish her opponents with maximum disrespect. Savage. With all of that punch and attitude to back it, it's obvious why she's the reigning queen of the popularity contest. Number 6, crew favorites. Okay, so we know who the fan favorites are, but which characters do you think the creators of ARMS like the most? Art director Ishikawa tackled the question from a designer's perspective. His favorite is a tie between Springman and Min Min. Springman appeals to Ishikawa because he represents, quote, the simplest expression of the unique features of the game of ARMS as a whole. Springman's design speaks for itself. His daring expression, his athletic wear, his springy pompadour, as soon as you look at him, you know what game he's from. Min Min is tied with Springman for Ishikawa because she represents both Japanese cuisine and culture. Ramen is the champion of Japanese comfort foods, so it's no wonder Ishikawa finds Min Min so relatable. Even the Japanese character on her chest translates to ramen noodles. Yabuki judged his favorites off of what fans liked, so of course he went with Twintelle. Twintelle means something special to him and the rest of the ARMS team. Nintendo doesn't usually put characters like her out there. Powerful female characters with strong features and clear sex appeal, so it must have been gratifying for the team when Nintendo gave the okay for her design. That breakthrough makes her Yabuki's favorite character. He said he also liked Springman, but he didn't choose him because Ishikawa already called dibs on him. 7. Athletes armed against their will. You'd never think that a world as bright and colorful as the ones in ARMS could hide so many ominous mysteries. But when playing through the game, some questions about the world are bound to pop up. Like, why are their arms all springy? And what woke Master Mummy from his slumber? Is there a reason why Kid Cobra has heterochromatic eyes? What in the world is Helix, and how was he accidentally engineered? Maybe his creators were trying to make an artificial ARMS contender? The answers to these questions are found deep in the game's lore. We don't want to spoil anything until our eventual 107, but we will give you just enough information to pique your interest and maybe inspire you to explore the world for yourself. So let's address the biggest question in ARMS. What's up with those extendable arms? Well, as the story goes, for a long time, researchers have struggled to uncover the truth as to why certain individuals are born with these arms and some are not. In the ARMS Direct, Biff the narrator states that the researchers are unable to further their studies,
as if held back by an invisible hand.
Very ominous. But it gets weirder. For mysterious reasons, the individuals with the ARMS ability are unable to recall why and how they first got their powers. Just poof, they woke up with their slinky arms. People with ARMS are of course shocked at first, but the convenience of extendable arms and the fame that comes with it make them forget their troubles. It's an honor to be an ARMS contender, but underneath all of that glitz and glamour lies something sinister. Greater powers are at work here. To uncover more truths to these mysteries, you can play the game or scour the web for more secrets. I don't know, your choice. Just one purchase? Before we say goodbye, here's a fun little bonus fact that we think you'll be happy to hear. Nintendo plans to add new characters, new arms, and new maps to the game for free. That's right, free DLC confirmed. It isn't clear yet whether all of the DLC will be free, but it was announced in Nintendo Direct that there will definitely be DLC going forward. Woohoo! We love free stuff. Go Nintendo. Once again, I'm Adrian, and thanks for tuning in for 7 facts about ARMS. Which fact got your arms pumping the most? Are there any other facts you wanted to see in the limelight? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. If you like getting more from your games, subscribe to the Leaderboard, where we help you game smarter.